Hello everyone, this is Grimgrith. I have not done this before, and I'm hoping to start it now. Uh, I do not know if I will show my face, ever. If you guys want to see my face, go ahead and like this video and comment in the comments. But yeah, this is the first episode I have ever done. This may continue. I do not know. It will all depend on what people want to hear. I am going to be starting this channel on the basis of a D&D perspective. I am going to be debunking some of the assumptions of D&D, such as, especially 5th Ed, because this is what most people are playing that I have found. 5th Ed D&D is very versatile. It is a fun platform where people are able to roleplay and join others in a multitude of settings, from the most basic of fantasy settings to the settings of a apocalyptic world beyond the space of our reckoning. Not only are the rules very versatile, but it almost encourages homebrewing. Now, for those of you who don't know what homebrewing is the basis of add-ons in D&D. You think something that has been done before and use the rules and mechanics of the game to create a new class, new items, new races even are created daily through homebrewing. Now, for those of you who don't know what D&D is, I'll give you a quick summary. And I'm going to probably make that what this episode's about. In quick summary, D&D is a fantasy-styled role-playing game. Now, there are other role-playing games that are not based in fantasy, but D&D is specifically a fantasy-based role-playing game. So when you play this game, it is very simple. You choose a race from one of, I believe, 9 core races. And if you wish, you can make it a little more complicated with sub-races. For first-time players, that's probably not a bad thing, seeing as how sub-races help introduce them to some of the more intricate dynamics of the game. Also, just like in a video game of some form of role-playing, such as Skyrim or other games, you have levels. So you will start out as level 1 and level from there. Now at level 1, you choose your race, your class, and a background. Let me just give a quick example. So if I were to be playing in a random campaign with some friends, and I didn't know what they were being, I would probably be a necromancer, a wizard subclass necromancer, with the race of a elf and the background of a sage. Now, this probably meant nothing to you who do not know what D&D is. For those of you who do know what D&D is, you're already raging in the comments about how you can't pick necromancer at first level. Well, just shush. I'm giving examples. So in D&D, I would be a wizard, an elven wizard of first level with the background of sage. So what that would mean, for anyone who does not know what D&D is that I had chosen the race of elf, I had chosen the class of wizard, and my background was that of a sage, someone who sought great knowledge and either came across it or is still searching for it to this day. Throughout all of D&D, there has always been, there has not been a set background system. I really like 5th Ed because it incorporates this set background system, which can help you figure out who your character is from the get-go. Whereas people would start a character in earlier generations, they would start a character and not have a set background and just see how their character acted and play it like that. I personally enjoyed this and did not enjoy it at the same time, because I enjoy knowing what my character is going to act like and how they are going to react to other players from the start of the game. Now, at later levels, you can pick a subclass, which, for those more incorporated into D&D, would know which subclasses are. I'm going to use my first level wizard as an example. So, my elven wizard hits level 3. I am going to choose the subclass wizard necromancer, meaning that I now have a more specialized set of skills as a wizard. Wizards are, in my opinion, the most versatile caster class out there. They have the ability to be anything, almost literally anything. There are necromancers, there are your blast wizards who blow up things with fireballs and lightning bolts, known as evocationists. There are abjurationists, which are really good at protection magic and wardings and things like that. And I'm, of course, not giving any of these subclasses justice by any means. But I do believe that each subclass of any class has its own specialized set of tools. Now, as a wizard, you're not very hard to kill. You are very easy to kill because you have a 6-sided die as health. And because of this, you can have only a maximum at first level of 11 health. Now, most wizards will not put their 20 into Constitution. They will most likely put their 18 plus into Intelligence, which is their main stat for spellcasting and for many of their abilities that are relatively useful. Now, as a DM, personally, a dungeon master for those who are new, I really honestly enjoy how well the wizard can work with other players. Now, that's not to say that the other classes can't work with other players. I personally enjoy all classes. I have played everything from a barbarian to a wizard, from a paladin to a rogue. I have played on both sides of the spectrum, lawful good to lawful evil. Now, for those of you who don't know, in D&D there are alignments, what your character's moral compass will be. Alignments are a very fickle thing. Lots of DMs view them differently. So if you go with someone who is very loose on the meaning of lawful good, you will be able to get away with a lot more. Now, I am decently strict when it comes to your alignment. I will say you cannot do things based on your alignment. Now, lawful good means you are a very lawful citizen, or is the key word here, you can follow a set of moral codes that you write for yourself. Now, as a DM, I ask for a written sheet of what those codes are. For other people, it is more loose if they do allow the moral code. Basically, you do good in a way that you see fit. Now, a lawful good paladin may say, not follow the laws of any one country. He may instead say, I follow my own code, meaning he follows a set code that he himself has created. So he may believe that slavery is evil no matter who or what it is. He may believe that fighting pits are not okay and must be abolished. He may believe that stealing is okay if it's for a just cause, and other things such as that. As I always say, lawful good is not lawful. He's not the bad guy because he is lawful good. He is the guy who has a set moral code, and if you're able to get him to see that it is within his moral code to do something, then it should be okay by him. Because the lawful good paladin is not the lawful douche paladin or the lawful dick paladin. Now, I personally have never played a non lawful or chaotic. I've never tried a true good, a true neutral, or a true evil character. And other people will call it different things, such as neutral good, neutral, true neutral, and neutral evil. I don't care. It is whatever they choose. Now, alignments are very fickle things, as I've said before. They have the ability to restrict one's character, but also to set them free. Now, most people really enjoy chaotic, because that does not mean they have to follow any guidelines, they don't have to follow any rules, but that also doesn't make them an instant rebel, where chaotic just means you're more prone to do things chaotically, in the spur of the moment. You're not going to sit down and have a long, thoughtful session like a lawful good character might. You're going to probably think up the first thing that sounds like it might help and be a good idea and go do it. Now, this is a very large game based specifically on the other players and other characters in your party. I was in a party, and DMs can make or break a campaign. I'm going to warn all who have any ambitions of playing D&D that one bad DM can break you ever wanting to play D&D again. It is the worst thing, and I feel so sorry for those who have had a bad DM. It is one of the worst things that can possibly happen. Now, there are different DMing styles, and I'll get into that later, maybe in another episode, or even in this episode, possibly. But D&D is a group role-playing game. It is a group of people who sit down and create a story together. The DM creates the guidelines for the story and will normally tell you where your story is based and how you can improve your story, improve the story by telling you what's around you, the setting. He is the narrator for the story. It is not his job to fix all the party's problems. It's his job to narrate the story and say, this is the story. These are some of the options you have. Now, if you have options that you'd like to explore, always ask your DM, is this an option? And he will tell you yes or no. But D&D is a group storytelling game. It is a group role-playing game where anywhere from 2 to 6 people get together and create a story. I normally like a party of 4 characters. Anything more tends to get a little crowded, but I have gone as big as 6. And it works. Anything above 6 doesn't work. I would recommend keeping, to all new DMs out there, I would recommend keeping a party of 6 or less. Anywho, I'm getting off topic. And if you have noticed, I am very good at getting off topic. So, it is a group storytelling game. In this group storytelling game, you will run into situations where your character may disagree with the party, and that is okay. That is 100% okay. It is the party, it is not the DM's job to resolve these in any form. It is the party's job to figure out a way to either compel your character, convince them that this is a good idea, or that it would be within their guidelines of morality to go do this. Now, this does not mean that the party should force someone to go. I am never as a DM, okay with someone forcing a character to go, as in a wizard or sorcerer putting them to sleep and saying, okay, we're going, drag him along. Now, if it is something as simple as they just don't want to go, or they are fearful of going, it is more okay to put the person to sleep and take them there, and once they're there, they don't really have much room to say, well, we should leave. And then there they have less room to wiggle out of it, and you can give them more options. Now, if they choose to wiggle out of it anyways, you as a party should find a way to help them get through this trial that they are currently going through. In a recent campaign, I had a character named Tolgak. He was a lizard folk, and he did not want to go to this cave. Being a barbarian, he was very strong. Well, the sorcerer put him to sleep, then polymorphed himself into a Goliath of enormous size, a stone titan is more accurate, picked up the party and carried them to this cave. True polymorphed, and they were there. Now, this character found it very hard to not go into the cave with the party because there was nothing else he expected around. So they went into the cave, they followed it down to the Underdark. Now, Tolgak is a character who is very much a fight-or-flight being. So having a wizard who can put him to sleep through these fight-or-flight situations is very, very good. And I did not encourage this, but I was not okay with it, because it did progress the story. Now, many DMs will be okay with this sort of thing if it will progress the story. So, as a group, you create a story and follow a set of, not guidelines, but a set of group party rules that you can make up on the fly, or you can establish when meeting each other, or you can just kind of go by the seat of your pants and hope that everything goes okay. But besides the point, D&D is a beautifully fun and adventurous game where anything can happen. And I will get more into the rules and into the gimmicky dynamics of it later on. If you guys want more on this, go ahead and give this a thumbs up, and go ahead and let all your friends know that Grimgrith is coming to YouTube and telling you all about the great, wonderful world of D&D. If you have any advice or comments, please leave them below. I would love to read them and hopefully get back to you on them. You all have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, or morning, whatever time of day it is when you find this video. I hope you love it, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you find yourself in good graces. May the gods be with you, and I salute you all. Have a nice day.